Yo, what is up everybody? It's John and welcome back to the channel. Today we're about to take off on a wild ride. Destination the Netherlands. We're talking windmills, canals, bikes everywhere. This place is straight out of a storybook. I'm talking about the top 10 spots you absolutely cannot miss. So buckle up, smash that like button, and let's jump right into it. First up, we gotta hit up Amsterdam. This place is buzzing, man. We're talking canals crisscrossing everywhere, these crazy narrow houses all squished together, and bikes. Dude, more bikes than you can shake a stick at. You gotta get lost wandering along the canals, dipping into these little cafes and just soaking it all in. And listen, no trip to Amsterdam is complete without hitting up the Van Gogh Museum. His paintings are like, whoa. And yeah, the Anne Frank house is heavy stuff, but super important to check out. It makes history real, you know? Okay, I gotta be real with you. Amsterdam is kind of famous for its coffee shops. Listen, I'm not saying you gotta partake, but it's part of the culture, you know what I mean? Just saying. But seriously, Amsterdam is more than just parties and coffee shops. It's got this raw energy, this creative vibe that's contagious. You feel me? It's a city that never sleeps, and trust me, you won't want to either. Before I forget, make sure you grab some street food while you're in Amsterdam. They got these things called stroopwafels. It's like a waffle, but with caramel in the middle. Dude, trust me, you'll thank me later. Alright, next up, we're headed to Rotterdam. Now, Rotterdam is a whole different vibe than Amsterdam. It's like super modern with these crazy buildings that look like they're from the future. It's actually pretty cool. They call it Manhattan on the Maas. First things first, you gotta check out the Erasmus Bridge. It's this massive swan-shaped bridge over the river. It's iconic, man. And the food scene in Rotterdam is off the hook. They got everything from Michelin star restaurants to street food markets. Rotterdam is also a huge port city, so it's got this gritty industrial vibe that's pretty cool. But don't let that fool you. It's also got a ton of green spaces and parks. It's like the perfect mix of urban and chill. Next stop, The Hague. Now this place is important, man. It's where the Dutch government hangs out, and it's also home to the International Court of Justice. So, yeah, pretty serious stuff. But don't worry, The Hague isn't all politics and law. It's also got a really cool art scene with museums like the Mauritshuis, which has paintings by Vermeer and Rembrandt. And if you need a break from all the city stuff, hop on a tram and head to Scheveningen. It's this beach town just outside The Hague, and it's the perfect place to relax, soak up some sun, and maybe even catch some waves. Alright, let's talk about Utrecht. This place is super charming with its canals, cobblestone streets, and medieval architecture. It's also a big university town, so it's got this young, vibrant energy. Now, you can't miss the Dom Tower. It's this towering Gothic church right in the heart of the city. And make sure to explore the canals. They're lined with cafes and restaurants, and they're the perfect place to just chill and watch the boats go by. Next up, Maastricht. This city is steeped in history, man. It's one of the oldest cities in the Netherlands, and it's got the architecture to prove it. You gotta check out the Basilica of St. Servatius. It's this stunning Romanesque church that dates back to the 10th century. Maastricht is also known for its art scene, and it's home to the annual European Fine Art Fair, which is a huge deal in the art world. So if you're into art, this is the place to be. Alright, get ready for this, Geethorn. This place is straight out of a fairy tale, man. It's known as the Venice of the North, and for good reason. There are no cars allowed in the village, so the only way to get around is by boat or by walking along the little footpaths. It's super peaceful and serene, and it's the perfect place to just escape from the hustle and bustle of city life. You can rent a boat and explore the canals, or just wander around and admire the thatched roof houses and picturesque bridges. Next stop, the Keukenhof Gardens. Now if you're into flowers, especially tulips, you gotta put this place on your bucket list. It's only open for a few weeks in the spring, but trust me, it's worth planning your trip around. They plant over 7 million flower bulbs every year, so you can imagine how incredible it looks when everything's in bloom. It's like a sea of color, man. You can wander through the gardens for hours, taking pictures and just marveling at the beauty of nature. Alright, let's talk windmills. You can't go to the Netherlands without seeing some windmills, right? And the best place to do that is at Zandse Schans. It's this open-air museum that's home to a bunch of historic windmills, wooden houses, and workshops. You can actually go inside some of the windmills and see how they work, which is pretty cool. And there are also a bunch of shops and restaurants where you can buy traditional Dutch souvenirs and food. Speaking of windmills, we gotta talk about Kinderdijk. This place is a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and for good reason. It's home to 19 historic windmills that were built back in the 18th century to drain the surrounding land. You can walk or bike along the paths that crisscross the area, and you can even go inside one of the windmills to see how it works. It's a pretty amazing sight seeing all those windmills lined up against the horizon. Last but not least, we're headed to Texel Island. This is the largest of the Wadden Islands, and it's a nature lover's paradise. You can go hiking, biking, birdwatching, or just relax on the beach. There are also a bunch of cute villages on the island where you can grab a bite to eat or do some shopping. And if you're lucky, you might even spot some seals or porpoises off the coast. So there you have it, folks. The 10 places you absolutely have to hit up in the Netherlands. From the canals of Amsterdam to the windmills of Kinderdijk, this country is bursting with charm, history, and adventure. Trust me, this is a trip you won't forget. And hey, if you do decide to make the journey, hit me up on social media, let me know what you thought. I'm always down to hear about your travel adventures. Until next time, peace out. Thanks for joining us on this tour of the Netherlands. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more travel content. See you next time.